Well, I mean, you're quite the humble guy though, because you've got what almost 3 million subscribers, or maybe you've surpassed that by this.
Oh yeah,
that
wasn't
point.
it?
I don't.
I need to check.
It's really
that,
close.
I think it was so close. Yeah. Enjoy talking.
Well, especially
to all
this
sorts
year.
of people.
Jeremy's camera's battery ran out.
Oh no!
It's a Sony.
You need to water cool it.
A6600. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't see me laughing, but yeah, I'll. It said internal temperature.
Yeah.
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 Overheated.
Okay.
My little ZV.
Good job you had the coffee break. Good time to have the coffee break.
Fantastic timing.
Looks good.
Yep.
Okay, so
I
we're
can see you,
probably
Jeremy,
good then.
and your numbers are going up again.
Okay, let me see. I'll move this over a little bit.
You're definitely recording and uploading.
Yeah, yeah. That was.
Excellent. Did that look like a good camera slider move there?
Oh man,
It did. I've only got you real
that looks
tiny.
amazing.
Jeremy,
That was.
but it looks fancy.
That's just me moving my camera. My laptop. Yeah, I'll have to do that at some point. Maybe I'll say. Yeah, it's like.
Well, your laptop's like
Oh,
a
guys, we're
four-legged
back.
tripod.
You know, Matthew
sliding
from DIY Perks has
cleanly
taught me
across
this
the
amazing
surface.
move. That is pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, with audio, it's so mind blowing to me how expensive microphones are, because the parts that go into them are super cheap. I bought this microphone. Is here in the UK? It's £500, which is direct dollar conversion. That's about $700. In America, it's about $500, but we get charged more for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, the capsule in it, I bought it, and I was like, I was using it. This is a good microphone. But I opened it for one reason or another, and I was like, this capsule looks familiar. And I had it already in my parts bin.
Oh, jeez.
And it's like literally an $11
maybe we're
part
on the wrong business.
in a $500 microphone. And the PCB is it's tiny with a few
No vacuum
transistors
tubes
on.
or anything in
No,
there. to
it's
make
super
it
basic.
magic.
It's super
Yep.
basic. And I'm like, they are seriously overcharging these things. Yeah, people with these things. So I am
really?
trying. I'm in development of a microphone that people can make. So large
Oh, that's
diaphragm,
awesome.
That sounds.
like proper true condenser microphone.
Well, I'm going to make one. For sure.
Well,
For sure.
hopefully, if it sounds good, it will allow people just to make a really good microphone for like $50 or something. Just lose contact. The driver still
Yeah, there you go.
records just that thing. I think of that. So
Yep.
yeah.
I'm using a little $10
I was as well.
USB to HDMI doodad.
That
But-
sounds handy.
This bums me out because the doodad only does 30 or 60 hertz, and Riverside.fm records in 24. And I can tell that I have a slight, I could see. Right, I can't see it here. When I'm editing the video, I could see that I'm not the way I should be.
Yeah.
But at least I'm only sitting here talking. It's not like I'm...
It's funny
know.
though. Shouldn't they have done it like 30 frames per second? That seems such like the standard
Yeah.
frame rate.
Yeah.
It seems
See-
weird that they do it at 24. Film frame
the-
rates for vlog,
Yeah,
conversations.
All the the Peter McKinnons and Potato Jets all like to upload at 24. Maybe.
I'm
don't-
rolling my
but I-
eyes at the 24 frames per second. Not them. I actually watch them and love
So-
their content.
Yeah.
But
So I
24
I
frames
filmed
per
at 30
second, I'm
frames
not
per
a
second
fan.
until recently.
No, me neither.
Somebody
I'm
I had
not
this
either.
conversation with somebody, and maybe you could dispute this, Matt. But compression. They say, okay, it's all in Mbps, megabits per second. So if you're filming at 24, wouldn't that mean you get more data per frame? You know what I'm?
Technically, yes, but at the cost of motion smoothness, because all monitors are most monitors, most phones, most devices people are watching these videos on, they run at 60 hertz, and 24 doesn't go into 60 hertz evenly, so you get a judder every few frames, and it ruins the motion smoothness. Like if you that's why if you watch a film, like at 24 frames per second. If you have a monitor that supports 72 hertz, it's much smoother watching it. It looks almost like 30 frames per second actually. That judder that people associate with 24 frames per second is actually almost not. It's because of the motion not being smooth.
Yeah,
but
there's an extra frame every once in a while.
Exactly, yeah, it's
so
not
many
even.
Frames.
Yeah,
and
and
one
your
gets
brain
double.
picks up on it. The best way to actually get better bit rate or better visual quality is remove noise, or do everything you can to remove noise in a video stream. Because with my videos, once I've finished editing them, when I render it, it takes about 8 hours because I run a filter on it called Neat Video, and it removes all the noise. So all the image, like Neat Video, yeah. Even this, I mean, this stream is pretty good. It's a low ISO at the moment, but even then, there will be a slight kind of shimmering. But Neat Video completely removes it. Because say if you upload a still image to YouTube, it looks perfect. It looks crystal clear, even at really low bit rates. But sometimes I'm the only thing moving in this frame. So the background isn't. So if I take the noise out of the background, it will compress it extremely efficiently. So I've set with the plugin and the temporal filter on, sorry, this is a bit technical, but
no, this is fantastic.
I find it really helpful because it shoves so much compression into the parts of the image. It shoves so much detail back into the parts of the image that move. It doesn't spend barely any on backgrounds or still parts of the image. It's a huge difference because then it's not compressing the noise because it's not there. And I've set the slider to maximum render quality, and it still the file ends up smaller than it would be if it was lower render quality, but without the plugin. It's that efficient. It has nothing else to put. There's no more data to compress, so it ends up with a smaller file. So that when YouTube takes that, it means that it's super efficient. So it results in a better image quality, even at 4K and stuff. So.
Yep, and especially when the background is. I know you're talking about noise from the sensor, but noise. Your background is just not noisy. It's very solid back there. Too.
It is.
So
that doesn't contribute too much to it though, because you can have a very detailed background, but if the pixels don't change, it doesn't change. It's still super efficient. So it's not really. It's still got a texture even if it's plain.
Yeah.
There's actually the texture that my wall has is actually damp because it's a chimney, and it sometimes rains, and there's damp patches on the wall.
Oh, jinkies!
I know. It's actually even this paint. People ask me what color paint this is. It's actually a DIY Perks special because it's made out of various paints I had left, mixed.
Just put them all in, see what you get back out.
Yeah, well, no, I was aiming for this color.
Oh.
So I was mixing in I need to add more magenta, doing tests and stuff. And I ran out of magenta, so I have this pile of ink cartridges left over from an old printer. I was like, I'm going to see if they work. So literally, this is ink cartridge ink as well on my wall.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah, very, very fitting to the channel, I would say.
That is beautiful.
So when people say, where'd you get your paint from? I'm like, I don't want to tell people because it's kind of embarrassing, really, that it's ink cartridges and stuff.
Well, Pat, are you recording right now?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got. We're still recording. It's
okay. Cool.
Yeah, I know we didn't really come back from our coffee break, but we have content, so it's fine. I'm trying to remember where I saw somebody making paint on YouTube from scratch, actual scratch paint.
There we go.
In the last month or two, I saw this.
That's okay. Well, that's what the coffee break's for, I guess. Right?
I don't know why it keeps dropping out.
Well, you guys want to go get back to it, I guess. Yeah, I think
Yeah. Jeremy, I think we'll still use some of that.
If that's okay with you, Matt, I know we were kind of...
It was a bit of a bit technical.
Okay.
But,
we were kind of off the record, but I figured it was...
a bit of a monologue.
We
yeah, it's fine by
So,
me. But,
okay. That would have a name that means something to everybody else, but...
Well, Jeremy, don't you have a channel about cooking with lasers?
Yeah, I do. No, it's so funny because, my last name is Cooke, like in reality. And it's...
Supposedly.
Somebody said... supposedly. So I went to some restaurant and the lady says, "Oh, do you?" I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, do you cook? And I'm like, what? Like, oh, that's what my last name means to people who aren't named this. So, yeah. And actually, one of our Patreons, Positive Waves, he said that Cook, I always thought Cook with an E was like the fancy spelling, but apparently Cook with an E is the commoner spelling, because apparently that means like, I don't know, something about that means that you cook. I don't know. I'm having a hard time.
I've never heard that.
But my theory is that everybody that came to America, it's like, well, we'll just drop the E because then we can sound like fancy people, and we're upgrading our status in life, I guess. So
you can pretend to be fancy.
Yeah, good job, Matt. Good job, Matt. I keep calling you Matt. Because it's
very similar.
Because I feel like I mix up Pat Regan and Max, the other host we had on here.
Yes,
becomes Matt. But now we have a Matt on here, and it's all confusing.
Very similar names.
Names are so hard. That's why I just usually say, "Hey, you."
You.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, because when you get them wrong, people sometimes get mad when you get their names
I can never I've never come across someone who does, though, to be fair. But I couldn't understand. I wouldn't.
My wife's name is Christina with an A, and she gets mad. She doesn't get mad in person, but she gets mad if you call her Christine. That's not her name. And she just... Right. Don't tell her I'm saying that. I hope she can't hear me.
Yeah. This isn't,
I've had some people call me, like, Mart. And I'm like, okay, if you want to call me Mart.
Mart. That's not even a real name. Mart.
Mart.
Martin.
Are people...
Marty.
Oh, Martin.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Martin's actually a pretty nice name. Because Mart, I mean, it's like KMart.
Yeah. I'm a shopping centre.
Was it Kangaroo Mart, as we were talking about earlier? But, Martin's a nice name, though. So, but your name's Matt, obviously. So, Matt, Pat, and Jeremy. That's what the names say on my screen.
Jeremy, did you know my middle name is Jeremy? That's unrelated. It doesn't really matter.
Is that really true?
It's really true, honest.
Wow,
see, Jeremy
that's
doesn't
awesome.
know that I'm serious because I joke around an awful lot. So I could be making, but I'm not making that up.
Because I've done this enough with you that I feel like that's a pertinent enough fact that you would have been like, hey, my middle name's Jeremy.
Well, it just never came up. We've never been talking about names this intensely on the podcast before. So
that's true. Well, Matt, can you tell us your middle name, since we know your last name's actually Perks?
I will. I'm going to leave it to people to guess, but it's begins with J.
J, is it?
Oh.
Is your middle name Jeremy as well?
I'm not going to say. People can guess in the comments.
Yeah. No, that's smart though, because it's.
I mean, it's probably out there somewhere on the internet to do a bit of research.
We need your mother's maiden name and your whatever the UK version of Social Security number is.
Yeah.
Actually, what do they have in the UK? Is it obviously you don't have Social Security?
Yeah, we have a national insurance number. Yeah.
Okay. So sort of the same thing.
Yeah. Yep. Get one at birth, I think, and then that's it for your life, I think. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know if you get a new one at any time, but you might be able to.
I don't know. Certainly I won't get one unless I become
My uncle had the same Social Security number as somebody else. He didn't find out until he was in his 40s or so.
That's...
Yeah, something... I don't know how. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know the
details. Couldn't he, apply for mortgages and stuff?
Yeah, but, they're both using the same credit somehow. I don't know.
That's worrying. Yeah. I'd be like, what's going on?
How did they straighten that out? Can you imagine straightening that out with 20 or 30 years of paychecks being?
Nope.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, how did he straighten it out, or?
Well, I don't know. I showed up one day. He told me the story that he found out his social security number was the same as somebody else, and then I left, and I hadn't been back in months, so I didn't get the follow up. I didn't.
Who knows? Maybe he was, born in the Falkland Islands and smuggled to America when he was
migrated.
Little boy.
Yeah.
I only know how to say aluminum.
Is there anywhere in the US that calls it aluminium?
I don't think so. I probably have once in a while because, Max would always call it aluminium. Because
I wonder how many, it wouldn't surprise me if there's some 13-year-olds out there who've only heard the word aluminium because I've been saying it.
I'll bet
and they grow up saying aluminium, even in America. My duty.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Well, it's usually in America we don't say you say, if I was mad at Pat, I'd say I'm not happy with, I'm mad at Pat. But like all these kids books, they read, a lot of them are British. I mean, not a lot of them, but they'll say, they'll cross whatever, what's the bear? The little bear, the Piglet, Pooh, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
He was crossed. They'll always say, "Oh, this guy's crossed with whatever," and all the British Anyway, the British kids cartoons, they say certain things a little bit differently, and it's you wonder if the kids.
Possibly,
I feel like my kids.
It's the reverse as well because we get lots of US cartoons here in the UK. So sometimes we say or grow up saying things in an American way.
Sure, that makes sense.
No, you wouldn't normally do, but
what do you think about this other question/comment? Rodney Asensio says
more PC
he just
cases.
says more PC cases. So that's not really a question, more of a command. That's not really what we asked for, but
Is it a command or a demand?
Command, demand. I guess if he puts his PC case in the Cobb house, I guess that would count, right?
The interview is going fantastic, other than the little technical difficulties.
I agree. Did you listen to the old other
I did
podcast
yesterday? Or the day before.
I'll be honest. Listening to it, I didn't think I did a very good job at it.
Well, what I remember, and it wasn't as bad as I don't want to say it was bad because it wasn't bad. But when I listened to it the first time, I did it in the car, driving over to Brian's house, and not that he's far away, but in the segment I got to listen to from here to there, Matt didn't say anything other than "Hi, I'm Matt."
Yeah,
and
I
it was
agree.
you and Max were going off on who knows. I mean, I don't remember what, but
yeah,
I was poor Matt, he's never gonna say anything.
Yeah, no, I was like, man, that was nice of him to come on again because I feel like we did a terrible job. But I guess Matt had a good time.
It was better
I didn't
than
think it was that bad,
it too.
But it better. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, mostly my memory of listening to it when it was new was just it's the Max and Jeremy show with. At least the first half was the Max and Jeremy show with Matt piping up with a little comment every now and then.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. Maybe we've just gotten better, but it's just we got Matt. We got he's the future of the. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't prepared correctly or something, but maybe since then I've gotten in my head that Matt or whoever else is the guest is the star of the show, not.
Well, that's
not
me. It's not. That's only partially true, and it would probably depend on who you're talking to.